fucking hands up.
Final countdown, SML. All comes down to this, the last season, Madden 20. Who will take it? Will BG go for number 3? Will the smartest guy in the room go for number 3? Or will Prime try for number 16 but again fall flat on his face? The truth around the SML. We're back and we're here. Fellas, Coach Pauly here with you. Okay, SML is back and the truth is back around the SML. Quarter edition here. I think we have 5 games played in the season. Most teams. I think we just opened up week 6 tonight. A lot of games are flying off the shelf in the first couple hours, so that's good to see. So on tonight's show, again, we have a caller on. Again, this is the championship edition. So first show of each new season. So you kind of know what that means, but I'll explain it a little later. Then we're going to go game of the week. We have a pretty good game. Not the best game, but a pretty good game of the week. Then we go the truth power ranking, top 10, the most accurate power rankings in the SML. Then we got the water cooler talk. We got a couple topics today, 2 topics to be exact. So without further ado, this guy here is setting the SML on fire since he's been in the SML. I've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people are afraid to play him. Okay, they're afraid to play him, including some of the best players in here and some of the GOATs in this league. So without further ado, we'll get him out for some questioning here. We'll introduce him a little bit, and everybody's going to know who he is after this.
The champ is here!
Uh-huh.
The champ is here!
I have arrived.
The champ is here!
Holla.
The champ is here!
QB Stud, are you there? What's up, bro? QB, what's up, man? Hey, you just came off a big win. How was that game you just played?
It was interesting. I still had where the last 4 or 5 games, maybe this entire season, my defense doesn't react on the ball like they used to. But it was a good win. Try to get myself out of the rut I was in the last 3 weeks.
And do you find, especially on the underneath routes, I feel like when my guy's underneath the route, he doesn't jump. He just stands there. Is that what you find or no?
Yeah, underneath, and especially if they're like just off to the side. If they could reach out and deflect it, doesn't matter. They just stand there and watch it. And we're talking, I've got a guy that's a 90 zone coverage, and he still let that happen.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple times too, especially in my last game. I had a guy sitting in the flats, and he just didn't undercut the ball. But anyways, so congrats on your second Super Bowl win. Now, going over your 2 games going in before the Super Bowl, you had Prime, and then you had NYT. Prime, you demolished 38-14, and then NYT in the Super Bowl, you demolished 37-10. So both games, to me and to most of the people watching it, seemed easy. Which of those 2 games were the least challenging for you? Both of them seemed like you could have sleptwalked through both of them, but which one was, the least challenging?
I'd probably say the Super Bowl was the least challenging, if only because I almost made the AFC Championship game harder than it needed to be. For whatever reason, my offensive line was firing at all cylinders, and it blocked absolutely perfectly against Prime in that AFC Championship game. So I could have just bypassed it all the way in. I didn't, though, obviously, because I'd rather be Sim than just abuse broken game mechanics. But against NYT, it was kind of relaxed, but he still has a lurker, an enforcer, and other guys you always have to account for. So it wasn't easy, but definitely not quite as complicated a game plan.
Yeah, I saw that game versus Prime, and you're just running all over him, mostly inside the tackles. You're just pounding him, and he really didn't have an answer for what you had in your game plan. Next question, are you in Prime's head in the playoffs? Are you like his kryptonite as far as SML goes?
I don't think so. I think Prime's main mental issue is that he doesn't take the regular season as seriously, but then he really gears it up for playoffs, whereas he just always tries to be dialed in for me. If anything, I think I get the best out of him. It's just that my players match up okay with his.
Yeah, every time it just seems like you know what's coming. You know every play he runs, which isn't hard in Prime's offense. You know his first read automatically, and then you just check down, whatever. But, that game that I watched, you were in his pocket pretty much calling the plays for him, it seemed. But, that's just me. Next question. Any additions or retirements this year that affect your team positively or negatively?
I don't think I had any major additions I did lose my backup strong safety who played he's a decent role player for me, and I lost my best offensive lineman from last season.
Hmm.
Luckily, I had young guys to kind of step in and fill those holes, but that's really it as far as major losses go. I did have regression that hit me pretty hard. I have a bunch of guys that fell under thresholds, but they're all still there.
All right, cool. Who is your biggest threat now in the new SML era that we're in now? Not the old where Prime used to dominate. Who is your biggest threat in the whole SML, NFC, AFC? If you were going to say one threat, who would you think it would be?
I'd still say Prime. He's got a stacked roster. He comes to play and he knows what he wants to do and he does it well. So it's still always going to be Prime.
Wow, I think a lot of people give him credit, and I guess in the past he won a lot of those 15 championships. Even though my sources are telling me that a lot of those 15 championships, some of those guys that he played weren't very good, and I've played a couple of them in my old league, and I can kind of go on that side. But next question, next Madden? Okay, the next one. Will it be better or will it be worse? And you and I have agreed that this Madden isn't as bad as everybody's, said, maybe lately, but overall, the whole year, it hasn't been as bad. And I agree because I know a lot of Maddens, the toss Madden and different Maddens where, it was a lot worse. But do you think the next Madden will be better or worse?
Yeah, so just to follow up with what you said, yeah, this is definitely the best Madden of this decade.
I
Doesn't
agree.
mean it's a great game, but it was, especially over last season where basically everyone had Lurker. Last cycle, I mean, that
Yep.
was horrible.
Yep.
But I do think next cycle will actually be better, if only because of the change of direction stat, which again further kind of limits what you can do with the user and adds a little bit more realism to it. Also, I don't know if you played any of the beta or not, but they broke down abilities a lot more to where it's area of the field instead of just specific routes or exact, coverages,
Yep.
which I think is going to be a huge boost and takes away a lot of the power from those abilities. And it allows there to be more abilities, which is more important. Because right now, one of the main problems is like joystick is really easy to get on any elusive back.
Yep.
So it's basically a coin toss on whether or not you get it. That's way too high for such a broken ability.
Yeah.
If they're going to continue to put in more and more and more abilities and water down the really, really strong ones, I think that's definitely a positive sign.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so. Like, I like this game. I thought it was pretty even, for the most part. You can stop pretty much everything as long as you know it's coming. Even the stretches you can stop with the right defensive adjustments and over the top and stuff like that and passing adjustments. But, yeah, I agree with you. Hopefully it'll be a little bit better, So that's it. That's all I'm saying about that. But last things, do you have anything to promote? I know you're been a little media whore as of late. Do you have a channel to promote or something that you want people to look into?
Yeah, man. Twitch.tv/QBstud. I have been doing streams with a webcam and with a setup and everything else. I decided to upgrade my capture card, so I will not be able to have those again until the 21st, which is next Tuesday. I have been doing, self-commentary and things like that on my games, answering questions in chat, anything like that. So feel free to come by and watch, and if you like it, give a follow or a sub, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and this is even for you guys that aren't in the league, you guys from other leagues that follow the truth, and you guys in Primer too. Definitely look into his channel, as he has a lot of even he breaks down the game a lot, so you can actually learn a lot about the game, because I don't think there's anybody in the league that knows the game better than QB Stud, to be honest. So it's good to learn, especially if you're a young guy or old guy that doesn't have a lot of time for the game. Hey, without further ado, I just want to congratulate you on your second championship, and I just want to give you a little advice from an old guy. The third one, this one here, this season will be very important for you because it will set you aside from others in this league and others that came before you. And just, when you get to the playoffs, forget about the media stuff, worry about the game, because I'm a big supporter and I want you to win that number 3. All right, bud?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, man. Hey, I'll see you. Thanks for coming on, and have a good luck this season. All right, buddy?
Absolutely appreciate it. Same to you, and thanks for having me.
All right, buddy. Talk to you soon. All right, fellas. So we're on. We're rolling. We're storming. Next, we're going to do a quick run around the league. We're going to start with the AFC North. Okay, a lot of interesting divisional races so far. First, we got the Ravens in the AFC North, 5-0. My boy little boy Meats, 5-0. He's dominating the competition. He beat the second place in the division Bengals, who are 5-1. This is my surprise so far in the AFC. The Bengals rolling. He's rolling right now at 5-1, but will he be able to sustain it? I don't think he can win this division because Meats beat him down pretty well. But can he get a wild card berth? That's definitely in the cards. But it also depends on the guy below him. Steelers, Mad Bomber. He's 3-1. He has a big game coming up against Meats that will show the league what he's made of. And yes, you heard it, Bomber. We'll show the league what you're made of. Because Meats, he has all those guys with all those abilities. And that, it's a powerhouse. Those three guys, the three-headed horsemen, hard to stop. I've seen it firsthand. And then we got my biggest disappointment in AFC thus far. One of them is my boy Woods at 1-5. I know he had a lot of retirements, but 1-5, man. Come on, man. You're the over 40 club, and you're going 1-5, Woodsy. Let's go, man. Halfway point almost of the season. It's time to strap up. Look down in those shorts and see what's between those legs. Okay, if you have anything, then you'll make a run in the second half of the season, no doubt. So, next division. Okay, we're going to go to the AFC South. And surprisingly, this is a funny one to see. First place, the silent man as of late. And I like it that way, to be honest. Mr. Dump, 5-0 in his Jaguars. Everybody's healthy. CMC's back. 5-0. I like that. I like when he's silent. The silent assassin's always better than you talk and then you lose at the end. So if he's silent, and if he loses, not many people will notice, in the playoffs. But now, I like the way he's rolling through the season, 5-0. Then we got the Tinny Man, Titans, Tiny, 3-2 in second place. Yes, I said it correctly. He's in second, not in last, folks. Yes, Tiny is in second, 3-2, and then below him, and yes, I said below him, the guy that we used to be, most feared competitor in the SML, Mr. Prime, 0-0-0 at 2-3. Yes, 2-3. He's had a hard schedule. He lost his running back, which in Prime's game is huge. Now he has a guy who can go 5-10, not break it every time for the next couple games. So it's going to be tough, even though I think his schedule lightens up. And we have, the blood of Prime. We have Field Gen, 0-5. I don't know what's really going on with him as of late. I'm disappointed. I expected more bite, out of the bark, but he kind of fizzled out, man. I've only played him once, when he beat me. That's not saying much, but maybe next cycle he can be back, can make a resurgence. AFC East, this is a very interesting division because another unexpected first place so far is the Jets. My boy Royce, 3-1. Is he finally coming to play? Is he finally growing hair on his chest and making that move to an SML great? We'll see. The playoff time defines everybody, right? Or if he can even hold on to this division. And then we got Dolphins, 2-2. My boy, oh my God, KJ Lander, 2-2, doing well so far at 500. Then, we got the Patriots, 3-3. They just won a game that just smoked the hell out of the Bills. So maybe he can be in resurgence after a losing streak, but he played a tough schedule. He lost to the BG, the Eagles, and Royce, so he had a tough schedule there. I expect him to end up winning this. He's too smart not to. And then we got the Bills. My boy Alex has been on hiatus for a while, 1-3. Very disappointing, not really challenging anybody. He's better than this. Alex, I know you're better than this. AFC West, we got the Chiefs. Corey Keeps, 4-1. I watched a couple of his games. I play him later in the season. He's good. With the team that he has, he's good. He has Mahomes. He can make any throw. He has Tyreek Hill deep. It's a nightmare to stop this team, and I think he wins this division, without a doubt, because, number 2 in this division, Raider fan, I watched his game versus the Packers, which I needed Raider to win, and he disappointed me. The dude doesn't want to go up and kick a field goal and go up by 2 scores. He just wants to pass and throw picks. Like, hello, run the ball and take the field goal, man. Take the field goal, Raider, and go up by 2. It's so frustrating watching you play the Packers, because if he's down by 2 scores, the Packers, have to fight to get in that instead of just making a touchdown and taking the lead there, Raider. So I don't know what to make. I know you're a heavy run game, and your pass game needs a little work, and that's the truth. Broncos, my boy Chris, falling off, man. He's falling off. I don't know what's going on with my boy Chris. Maybe too much KO or too much wacky tobacco. I'm not sure, but he's 1-4. And then we got, speaking of wacky tobacco, we got Blunt Burner, 1-5. It's been a horrible cycle for the Blunt man. Hopefully next cycle, I know he's blaming the game, but everybody's playing the game. Everybody's playing the same game there, Blunt boy. But, we got to get better, Blunt. Next cycle, maybe is your cycle. NFC North, a great division here. It's turning into be a great division this year. We got the Vikings, yes, myself, 5-0, but I'm a fraud so far. I've played kind of a weak schedule. I've played teams when they're not hot. I don't really consider myself a 5-0 team. I'm more of a 2-3 team, maybe at best, or a 3-2, maybe if I'm lucky. Then we got the Packers, lawyer killer, 4-1. Now watch this game versus Raider. Was frustrated. Raider had the lead, couldn't go up 2 scores. Instead, he wanted to pass. So Packers 4-1. I still have to play them twice. It's still up for grabs. He's tough with the addition of his new receiver Adams there. I've been looking at you. Don't worry, lawyer. I know what you're bringing to the table. And then we got PJ, 3-1. My surprise of the NFC. He played me tough. He has more patient offense, more patient mindset also. And then we got a biggest disappointment in the Coop. He came out storming last season. And this season he's hiding in the weeds, man. I don't know if he's sniffing that Grand Canyon air or what, but man, 0-6, man. I don't know what to say about that. We got the NFC South. We got the Buccaneers, man. Welcome back, Noel Overloyd, supporter of the truth. 3-2. He's back where he needs to be. He's back where he needs to be. I think I just saw him lose the game versus Mike, maybe. But he's a great competitor if he can get French going. And second, we got NYT, man. I don't know, 1-3. He's probably still recovering from that Super Bowl, man. That loss. I don't know what to say about that. It's just disappointing, and it takes a long time to recover from something like that, I would think. Saints, my boy ZZ, 2-4. He's not out of it yet because this division is so bad that, he's still in it, believe it or not. He's still in this division. Panthers, my boy Mike, I just played a close game with him. He played me tough. He always plays me tough. He knows tendencies and all that stuff, like I know his too. 1-4. This division is a toss-up. I think Noel should run away with it, but you don't know. You just don't know how strong that hand is on the joysticks yet after that hand injury. So NFC East is next. We got, guess who's on top? Once again, the BG, and the only loss he has is because, guess what? Prime gave him a sim loss once again. So he's 4-1, but that loss is a sim. Then we got Dan the Man, disappointing last year in the playoffs, losing to NYT. I had Dan winning by a lot, and he blew the game. I don't know if the nerves got to him. Like I said, the SML playoffs are different than the primer, buddy. So, hey, bear in next time. People are starting to figure you out, your offense, the checkdowns. I'm telling you, it's all about, changing it up, man, because people are starting to figure it out. And I saw the last game versus the BG, and it's just, I think you're in the wrong division. That's all right now until next cycle, maybe. And then we got Grams, the OG, 3-2, not bad. Again, he's still in it. Don't cross out Grams. I think he can take on the Eagles and maybe beat the Eagles. He beat them in the primer Super Bowl. Why not here, right? Let's go, Grams. Let's make a late season surge here for the last season and the cycle. Giants, this is a surprise too. 3-2. I gotta check their schedule, but Figs is 3-2. He's finally coming through from his 3 seasons of predictions of him, being better. And this is the season where it might come true. It might finally come true, Figs. NFC West, last but not least. And it's again surprising, man. The fall of Future is sad. I don't know what's happened to him, but I know he'll bounce back when he plays me in a couple weeks. So, but the Rams for now are 2-2. We got Spooky 1-4. Oh, we got the Cards, who I just played, at 1-4. He's tough, man. You got to stop Isabella. You got to definitely stop Isabella. He's going to be trouble. I don't know how the Rams lead in this division, but I think the Seahawks or the Cardinals will end up taking it because they got the firepower that it takes. All right, so next. We're going to go Game of the Week, baby. Game of the Week. Let's get it.
It's time for Pauly's Game of the
So, in this game of the week, it was hard. There weren't that many games here. Too many good games to call. But I'm going to say this. The game of the week for week 6 is the Steelers 3-1 against the undefeated Ravens. The first time they played this season. The Ravens are first in points for with 37. They're sixth in points against. Okay, they're sixth in points against. And we got the Steelers. They're fourth in points for with 31 and 10th in points against with 20. Okay, so I don't think Mad Bomb is ready yet. He's great at commentating and doing games, but, I don't think he's ready for the three-headed monster, of Jackson, Brown, and Golden, man. So I say 34-21 Meats. Not that I believe in Meats when it comes playoff time, but in the regular season, he seems to do well, so that's where I'll leave it. Next, we got The Truth, the best power rankings in the SML, The Truth, top 10 power rankings. Let's go.
It's time for Pauly top 10 SML power rankings.
All right, so at number 10, like always, we start at the bottom and head to the top. We got number 10, okay? You got the Vikes, myself, 5-0, undefeated, but I don't believe in the schedule that I've played so far. 5-0 is not really impressive for me. So, number 10, the Vikes. Number 9, the Steelers, 3-1. They have a big game against the the Ravens, so that'll tell us what they're made of. Number 8, the Bengals, Roland Cook. He's having a good season. Okay, 5-1, having a great season. Maybe he gave up the late night booty calls. I'm not sure, but he's up there. He has a chance for that wild card in the AFC. Number 7, Packers, 4-1. They got Gurley. They added Adams. Everybody's watching. We know what he likes to do: pound the rock, get those out routes. Get Adams involved. We know. We got it. Okay, number 6. Okay, number 6. And only reason I put him number 6 is because he had a 3-game losing streak, but came around just a couple minutes ago. The man I had in the show, the Pats, the champ, 3-3. I think he will end the season with a great record and probably win the AFC. We got number 5, KC Keeps. Okay, 3-1. Very impressive so far. He has weapons, okay? But in the playoffs, can he get it done? That remains the question. Eagles, my man Dan, 4-1. And I don't know if he'll go any higher than 4 or 3, man, because that division is tough with the guy right in front of him. Number 3, the Skins, BG, 4-1, baby. 4-1 for the BG. He's kind of has a point to prove this season to, a couple guys in this league. I've heard it. And number 2, Jags, the quiet man as of late, Mr. Dump, 5-0. And number 1, for now, until the playoffs hit, we got Meats, 5-0, man. 5-0 with Meats. He has all those weapons once again. And I don't know, once he goes to the playoffs, something just happens to him. The moment gets too big. I'm not sure what happens, but something happens. But hey, without further ado, we're ending off the show with water cooler talk, babe.
It's time for water cooler talk around the SML with Paul.
All right, fellas, we got a couple topics. Nothing crazy today. We got a couple topics to go over. Who is the best ever to come up from the primer? So I thought about this, and then I asked 10 guys around the league. Okay, and I gave my own self a vote. Obviously, the Truth gave a vote. So I thought, everybody would probably think who I would vote for, but, it isn't, what you all think, right? You would all expect me to say Sunday, the BG, it was that, but last season he was kind of robbed, so we never got to see the true ending we all wanted to see. So I think the best ever coach to come from Primer, I think hands down is the guy I had on the show today, QB, the GOAT killer, the kryptonite of Prime. Without a doubt, so far. And he beat the BG in the Super Bowl. And that's why, I put him as the best ever primer recruit to ever come up in SML so far to this day. No doubt in my mind. And I know that, the last person Prime wants to see in the playoffs is definitely QB because he has an answer for most everything in this game. Last but not least, let's see. The worst player. And I went through a lot of primer, worst players. And this was tough, but I'm going to say, I'm sorry, man. He got booted, in a kind of a wrong way. Kind of made my heart hurt for a little bit. But Lee Seals, he was in the primer for about a year or so, or 2 or 5 years, whatever, but he wasn't very good, man. I played him when he came up, and it was just, I don't know, it seemed like he was watching like porn while he was playing me or something. I'm not sure, but he was a great guy, man, but he didn't have it. He was throwing balls into triple, quadruple coverage and whatever. He might be the worst primer recruit as far as gameplay-wise to come up, you know. But I liked him as a guy. I mean, he's pretty cool, but just his gameplay wasn't, you know, what I expected from being a Madden vet. That's all. Last but not least, last topic on this show, we'll keep it light. Not really light. I heard a rumor. I've been talking to some guys in the Truth DMs, which are always popping. Conk's coming back, man. Conk's coming back to the SML. And by prediction, the Truth prediction, he will either be back by the first season of next cycle or second season. Because my sources are telling me that him and Prime, played another game other than Madden, have been playing a couple times a week. And, you know, Prime's actually wants him to come back. And kind of what I've heard, kind of begging him to come back to add some controversy to the league. So that's what I've heard. You know, I've got pretty good sources on this one. You know, I'm not going to reveal my sources, and I never do, because that's why they keep coming back. But Conk will be back. You know, Conk will be back. You know, you love him or hate him, he will be back. And that's my prediction, and that's the truth. So, fellas, I will be back either, you know, for the playoff show or the three-quarter show. I know this is the last cycle and the last season we're playing, so, you know, summer's here and a lot of people are outside. But, hey, I appreciate all you guys listening to the truth. Without you, there is no me. Remember that. So, until further ado, until next time, I think we're out, folks. Peace out. Good luck to all in the season, man. Go up to the SML channel and look at all the shows. Beautiful shows for a beautiful league. Peace out, fellas.
Put your fucking hands up.